MyFitnessPal, easy tips and tricks to making it a little bit easier on logging and tracking your daily food. So we're going to go through a couple things here really briefly just to make things fast and easy when you're going to be planning your day. Let's start with just adding food. All you do is simply tap Add Food. From there you're going to see the Search for Food banner come up on the top, and here you can just click on there, and as you start typing something, it will finish that word for you down at the bottom here. You can just click on that. And then if I'm ever logging or searching for food that is from the earth, a vegetable, a fruit, I always go USDA. That ensures that I'm getting the correct log, and it's pulled the nutrient breakdown from the USDA site. I'm going to look for something that's in grams, not always just one medium zucchini or one medium apple, because that means something different to everyone. In here, then you're going to see the number of servings, and you can change that. Just because the serving size is 100 grams doesn't mean I have to eat 100 grams. I can change that to whatever quantity I'd like, and up above it will change the macro breakdown for me depending on the quantity I choose. You can also change the serving size from either 100 grams to 1 gram to ounces. I usually always choose something that's in grams if I can over ounces, unless I usually do meat in ounces, but everything else I do is in grams as much as possible. Then you're going to see this check mark up on the right hand top corner. You click that and your food goes right into your daily log. From there, let's say I'm going to add another food and I'm going to make this an omelet. I'm going to start typing in liquid egg whites, and it pulls it up from my recents. From here, this is a really good feature to use, is the Add Frequently Paired Foods. These are foods that MyFitnessPal has seen that I usually have together often, and you can just simply click on the little circles next to it to add that to your log. So far I'm going to say I'm going to have some cashew milk, I'm going to have Laughing Cow cheese with it, some spinach, and some mushrooms. There, I'd click again on that check mark and everything would go into my diary. If this day I choose to change the quantities that I had in the past, I can go in and change those serving size very easily then, but I didn't have to retype everything separate. Now, let's say this is an omelet and a breakfast I make very, very often, and I'm going to use it for later times in the week, or I prepped this ahead of time. I'm going to go into Add Food, and instead of always typing every time, instead of clicking the Add Food, I'm going to click these 3 small dots next to it, and another menu will come down. From here you can save this as a meal if you know you're going to make it often and you want to use it in the future. You can copy it from a date or to a date. So if I prepped this ahead of time for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I could copy to date. And then I could tell it I also want it to be my breakfast on Friday. And if I clicked on that, it will then copy it to my diary for those days. So this is a very easy way, if you do food prep and you know you're going to have the same lunch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, to put it in your log ahead of time. Let's go through some of the other buttons you can see when you press Add Food. By the Search for Food, there are 2 icons. One is a teardrop shape, and that looks like that is a locator icon. So you're going to push that, and it's going to pull up all the restaurants in your area. Since I'm home, there's not many right in my area, but I can use the search icon up here on the right, and let's say I know I'm going to be going to Chick-fil-A. I can click, and that green check mark tells me that their menu is already in MyFitnessPal. This makes choosing things very easy while you are out. So I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to decide that I am going to get this yogurt parfait with granola. So I would click right on that, and it tells me the nutrient breakdown up top here is 61 grams of carbs, 6 grams of fat, and 10 grams of protein. From this I can decide if this is what I'd like to choose or not. Let's say I choose that. I'm going to press the check mark again, and it is logged in my diary then. So I can go back to my diary, And you can see right here in lunch, it is logged it in my diary, and I know exactly what I'm having and what I'm ordering even before I go into the restaurant most of the time. Now, then let's click Add Food again. There's a little barcode that's right next to that locator button. This, if you push this, allows access to your camera on your phone, and you can scan any barcode on a packaged product that you find in your fridge or in your pantry, and it will put that right into your log. Always double check that when you scan an item's barcode that it's the correct product and that the nutrient breakdown matches what you're seeing on the package, because there is a few times sometimes it's not quite scanned correctly. Next, we are going to go over the difference between meals versus recipes. So if you come down to the bottom and you see more, click on that. You're going to go into meals, recipes, and foods. These are different categories. A recipe is great to be used when it's something that you make the exact same every time and you never change the quantity of any of the ingredients inside, and you make it the same. You want to put that in, and you can create a recipe two ways. One, from adding it from the web, and you can actually just cut and paste a URL, or you can click on that, and they have certain sites right there that you can click on and search through. And if you choose one of those, it's going to put that right into recipes for you. Your other option is to enter ingredients manually. This you can type in your own recipe name. You can type in how many it serves, and then you have a choice to either bulk import the items and type them all in, like the whole recipe down below, or you can do them one at a time. This arrow up in the right hand corner is what progresses you to the next screen each time you finish a step of your recipe. Now, when you go to log a recipe and you click on it, I'm going to click on turkey sliders. Let's say I'm going to have that, and I'm going to add it to my diary. I up here can change what meal it is. I'm going to say I'm going to have it for dinner. When I check on that and it puts it in for dinner, it simply says turkey sliders. It does not have the breakdown of each ingredient. So this is going to be where the big difference comes in between meals and recipes. I'm going to delete that for now. I'm going to go into add food and come into my meals. From here, I'm going to say I would like to have this Mexican skillet, and here are all the ingredients, and I'm going to click my check mark. And now for dinner, these are all the individual ingredients for that meal. The meal gives each ingredient logged separate, where, as you saw, the dinner, when I had just the recipe for the turkey sliders, just said turkey sliders. So now what this enables, that I can go in and change each ingredient amount if I decided to have more or less of something in my skillet that time. Another tip and trick is if you are using the standard version of MyFitnessPal, if you turn your phone into landscape mode and scroll all the way to the bottom, it will tell you the breakdown of what you have left in your macronutrients and your goals. So if you turn your phone into landscape mode and go to the bottom, that's a great way for you to see what you have left while you're planning. I hope some of these tips and tricks are things that maybe you can incorporate into your daily planning and tracking using MyFitnessPal.